Knicks family, what's poppin'? Is your boy. Last night, the New York Knicks went into Denver on the second night of a back-to-back and came away with a victory, 106-103. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was the second game in 2 nights that they played a team that was undefeated at home. Yeah, good win by the New York Knicks. They hadn't won in Denver since 2006. Jamal Crawford, Stephon Marbury, Eddie Curry and the gang, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, here's my 5 takeaways from last night's win. Number 1, they were victorious without playing well, ladies and gentlemen. They shot 44% from the field. They shot 24% from the three-point line. They took care of the ball. Only like 7 turnovers or something last night. But they didn't shoot it well. They had to hustle. They had to use some muscle. They were down 10 in the fourth quarter. And they found a way to win. Those are the kind of victories that can propel you forward, ladies and gentlemen. You know, if the Knicks would have blown them out, you could say, they were just off. Something wasn't right with Denver. Nikola Jokic wasn't there, this, that, and the third. And he wasn't there. And that definitely makes a difference. But still, the Knicks battled this win out without shooting the ball well. That's a positive for me. Number 2, the New York Knicks showed that they are capable of playing good defense. There's still some holes in the defense out there. There's no doubt about it. But last night, they did a decent job covering the three-point line. They did a decent job covering for one another. Now, we did see some alley-oops off of pick and rolls and some miscommunication on switches. And there goes that word again, switches. We talked about that in the last 5 takeaways. But for the most part, they played decent defense. Let's hope that it gets better. Okay? Because in order for them to continue to win basketball games, when they're scoring, some nights the Knicks can score 135 points. Last night, they scored 106. These were 2 teams coming in, 23rd and 24th in the league in defensive rating, and it turned out to be kind of a defensive battle. But they showed that they're capable of playing good defense when their mind is right and their mind is there. It must continue. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it must continue. And that leads me to my 3rd takeaway. Transition defense. And before I get in and really break this down, when we're talking about transition defense, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just fast breaks. Okay? Transition in basketball means you're transitioning from offense to defense or from defense to offense. And there are multiple ways in which you transition. You got fast breaks, you got the secondary break. Sometimes it's just you grab a rebound, you grab a defensive rebound, and now you've transitioned into the offensive team. What does it look like? Well, I don't think the Knicks transition to defense well. Not right now. Now, especially on the fast break. There are plenty of times when you see guys running the lanes, but the Knicks, you see offensive guys running the lanes, but the Knicks are not always sure who should be grabbing who. Sometimes you see teams score off of the secondary break because the Knicks are not sure who should be defending who, or not paying attention to the trailer. Next thing you know, that trailer is coming down the middle of the lane, gets the pass, and bangs it on somebody. Transition defense, ladies and gentlemen. The secondary break. The Knicks must get better at transitioning to defense. Their defense is getting better over the last 2 games. This is another area where I think it needs work. My 4th takeaway Julius Randle last night led by example. Yeah, he had 34 points. He had 11 rebounds, 24 points in the first half. And his game wasn't perfect. But he made up for those imperfections through hustle last night, through passion last night. And if you're going to organize a team dinner and have a meeting about accountability, well, you better make sure that your ass is in gear too. And he did last night. He was grabbing offensive rebounds and putting them back when other players weren't really hitting. You seen him dive on the floor. Grab that ball and get it up to Jalen Brunson for a dunk. Before that play, got a big steal to get a dunk to help get the Knicks back into the basketball game. This is the Julius Randle the Knicks need all the time. All the time, every game. When he steps on the floor, the Knicks need this Julius Randle. Lead by example. Lead with your passion. Lead with your work ethic, your hustle, your muscle. Last night, you seen Julius Randle, while he still took 10 threes, he was 3 for 10 from the three-point line. You seen him use more of his muscle last night. Bang his way, muscle his way to the basket. This is what the Knicks need from Julius Randle. Let's hope that it continues. If he plays with this kind of hustle, it will permeate throughout the team. Especially, ladies and gentlemen, if Tom Thibodeau is going to use that small lineup. That includes Randle, Obi Toppin, Cam Reddish, Jalen Brunson. Last night it was Emmanuel Quickley. Sometimes it's R.J. Barrett. But if you're going to use that lineup, which lacks some rim protection, Tom Thibodeau's pointed that out plenty of times, then you got to make up for that rim protection with hustle. Julius Randle has to lead the way. He'll have Jalen Brunson with him, but this is going to make Obi hustle, dive on the floor for loose ball, snatch rebounds the way he did in Utah. Randle's got to do that, man. He did it last night. Let's see if he continues to do it. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, a very strong start to this West Coast trip. This was a trip that many of us fans said, this could do it for Tom Thibodeau. If the Knicks lose these 5 games, that could be it. And the season could be done. Although it's early in the season, this is the way it felt going into this trip. Well, the Knicks took down the Utah Jazz. They just took down the Denver Nuggets. The Jazz came in to that game one of the top teams in the Western Conference, although the loss to the Knicks was their 3rd in a row. The Denver Nuggets came in one of the top teams in the Western Conference, although Jokic was not there. There's nothing the Knicks can do about that. You win the game that's in front of you. You play the people that's in front of you. And they're still a good basketball team when Jokic is not playing. They're better, much better when Jokic is playing. But they're still a good, better basketball team when Jokic is not playing. Next is the Golden State Warriors, ladies and gentlemen. They're below 500 right now. But the Knicks already got 2. There's a possibility they could get a 3rd versus the Golden State Warriors. And I'm sorry if my voice kind of went up high there. And then you got the Phoenix Suns and you got OKC. If the Knicks stay focused and stay with it, there's a good chance the Knicks come away with a winning record from this West Coast trip. They already got 2 wins. So what was a scary West Coast trip is turning out to be, or could turn out to be, a very good West Coast trip for the Knicks. Much needed trip. You heard Walt Clyde Frazier talk about how a road trip can bring a team together. And right now, this road trip, including that team dinner, is bringing this team together. You love to see it. And it's going to be needed because even when they come back from a tough West Coast trip, the schedule gets tougher. I mean, they come right home and play the Portland Trail Blazers, who are right now number 1 in the Western Conference. So we'll see where the Knicks' focus is, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. Look forward to doing tomorrow's game preview as the Knicks travel to Golden State to take on the Warriors. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see what the Knicks can do. If you have any comments, what are your takeaways? Leave it in the comments section, folks. I'm out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.